Welcome to Rope Dropping Knowledge, where we guide you through the magic of Disney.
Episode 229.
We miss you.
Yeah, we missed you guys. So, it is July. We did our first July episode way early on. It seems like this month is pretty long.
I know. And hot.
Yeah. But not, can't complain too much because the East Coast got it a lot worse as far as the heat from Texas eastward. So, hope you guys are staying cool or at least having some success in that department. Yeah, we're back. We went to the parks. We're going to talk about our park visit. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff this episode. Different things, different categories. But it is July, and we did have a winner of the Strange giveaway. And now we have a new giveaway, which we don't even know what the item's actually called. You said they call it the D backpack.
Disneyland D backpack because it just has the Disneyland D logo.
It's just black. I call it the black pack. It's just
yeah, but it does have the D logo.
Yeah,
the Disneyland logo.
But it's all black except for the D.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys were paying attention to our social media, I did tease that when we were at the parks last time with the giveaway. Yeah. So yes, we did get that backpack. It's part of this collection that sold out once, but I don't think it's sold out now. But
yeah, it restocked, and then I got the fanny pack version. Mm-hmm. So, that's what I should wear. I was like, I'll just wear whatever.
We'll be going to Disneyland. We're blocked on Saturday. When we say we're blocked, it means we're blocked on the day we usually like to go, which is Saturday. Mm-hmm. So instead of waiting all the way until August, we slipped in Sunday. So we'll be going this Sunday, and so more PTO. We can't stay away from Disney that long.
We're up for renewal in September.
Yeah, we can't even
we don't even know if it'll be available for us to upgrade.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we'll see.
I mean, it's fine. It's
right now they have a bunch of summer deals going on for the residents and stuff too.
Yeah.
The 3-day deal and then the residence deal that we'll talk about later. Yeah. So I think they're holding off when all that's gone. Then they'll make Magic Key sales go on sale again.
But this backpack, so they had, people might get confused. We're going to post it after this episode, after we upload the episode. So, but most of you will probably see it at the same time. It's the full size backpack because this particular collection has like 4 or 5 different bags.
Yeah.
They have a tote, they have a crossbody, they have a fanny pack. And they have a little Loungefly sized backpack.
They called it the mini size. And this one's
so this is the big
size.
And I like this one because I think most Disney stuff is made for girls. Women and girls, and that kind of led me to the question, which is, what kind of Disney merch do you prefer? Do you prefer the stuff like I prefer? So, like this backpack. I would wear that backpack to Disney if I wore backpacks.
Oh, I was going to say, you can carry it.
Yeah, I don't wear backpacks. But if you said, hey, can you wear this for a little bit, I would. Because it's like, it's just a plain backpack. I like the understated, right?
Yeah.
So, and what I mean by understated is very minimal Disney. You almost have to look for it.
It looks like a jersey. The D is the front of the jersey.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like stuff that I could wear outside of Disneyland if I wanted to. I like the Disney Nike polos. I wear those to work. So when I have meetings and stuff, I'll put on a Disney polo. So I'm represent Disney, but it's you have to look and see, like, what is that? Is that Mickey? Yeah, okay, Or, so I'm the understated. Do you like loud Disney merch?
That's me. I wear Mickey and I wear
things you can see from a mile
Loki
away.
On my shirt.
I know you're a fan of the Little Mermaid from 6 miles out. I can see you from the top of the Matterhorn, clashing colors, looking like a birthday cake. Like, hey, I support Pride Month, but I do not like Pride merch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like rainbows. I don't
Mhm.
like anything and all that.
You don't like colorful.
No. Or it's just a mix of colors.
Mm-hmm.
I like a solid one color of something
Mm.
and with a small logo.
Yeah, you don't even
Mm.
like the jerseys that have some design on it. You just
No.
want the
No.
plain
Unless
jersey.
it's like the Hoth jersey, like the
Yeah.
Battle of Hoth. I bought that because it's more of like an art piece.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't like rock it anywhere. You know what I mean? I just like having it. I think it's a collector's jersey. You know, and I have the Hades jersey, which I think is cool, but I wore it once, you know.
Mhm.
I like single color, one small
Subtle.
logo, subtle, understated versus loud. What's your favorite Disney merch? And that's the question. So all you have to do is, if you want to give us an explanation or some
And some people
examples,
just say they don't wear anything.
Yeah.
Or they just bound, which doesn't have anything on it. It's just the color of whatever the character.
ooh, I will accept any of those as answers.
Yeah.
So what type of merch do you wear? And basically, you just give this. You know what? I always do this. I always forget to give the date. But this particular giveaway ends on a Saturday, August 10th. We're actually be going to the parks on August 10th.
Oh, yeah.
But yep. So, the Disney backpack, Black Pack, and
Disneyland.
yeah. And yeah, what kind of Disney merch? Understated or loud, or do you bound, or is it a mix? So, and just give us that answer via Facebook, Instagram, or info@ropedroppingknowledge.com. You get an additional entry for every medium you use. Must be 18 years or older and live in the United States. Again, this particular giveaway ends 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on August the 10th. Alrighty. Okay. So, what do you want to talk about first?
Pixar Place Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, a loud plane just.
I thought we were being attacked. It sounded like a missile.
We are near Miramar.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Mm-hmm.
Pixar Place Hotel. We stayed there the last time we went, and we got a text. I usually check in via phone, like a week before. I do the mobile check-in so that it's faster, and then they also text you when your room's ready.
Mm-hmm.
So I checked in the week before, and then I got a text that morning at 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. that our room's ready. And I was like, oh. So anyway, so we just drove there. We drove straight to the hotel since it said our room was ready. Brought in our luggage, and then they were we saw Rex, which is our regular, which is our regular, not regular, but he's helped us a couple times check into the hotels.
We even do the what do you call it? The shout out on the app. We gave him
that shout out on the app. So we saw him again. He checked us in, and then he's like, "Oh, you got a magical upgrade, and to a 1-bedroom suite." I was like, "Oh, cool." I just thought that meant, "Oh, okay, whatever. There's a door." I just thought, "Yeah, sure." So I was like, "Cool." And then he said it was on the pool floor, and I was like, "Oh, that usually just means you just see the pool." Okay, fine. So we're just like, "Cool. Any room's fine with us." But then when we got there, the third floor is the pool, the floor where the pool is at the Pixar Place Hotel, and it's also where it's the fireworks viewing deck. So I slide through the door, and I was like, whoa, this is like a living room and a kitchen and a bathroom on the right.
Area.
Yeah, and my left was a bathroom, kitchen, dining area. Then I walked in, there's the bedroom, and I was like, whoa, it's a whole suite. But then the part that, you all saw the reel, but the part that was really cool was the big
deck
patio terrace. Yeah. The terrace was expanded from, it had 3 doors that you can enter the terrace, go out to the terrace. There were 3
That's
doors
how long
in our room.
the room is.
Yeah. You could enter through the living room, the kitchen, or whatever it's called, the dining room, the living room, and then the bedroom.
Yeah.
So it was one long terrace, and then the pool was right there.
You could easily fit like just on the terrace / patio or whatever you want to call it, probably 30 people. You know, and in the actual just dining living room area, probably another 30. So you could have a pretty big party.
Yes, 2 bathrooms, two full, well, not full, but shower.
Yeah.
And then the bedroom had a tub and a shower. So it was 2 full bathrooms.
Yeah.
The living room, the sofa pulls into a queen bed, pulls out to a queen bed. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's the. I thought it said Pixie because I was reading too fast.
Yeah,
but,
and I wasn't wearing my glasses.
Yeah, but it's Pixel, which makes sense.
Pixel, yeah,
you know,
'cause
Pixar.
yeah.
But
It was the Pixel Suite.
Pixel Suite, which you can't even book. On the app.
Not on the app.
You have to call.
Yeah.
So, and then I knew it was the Pixel Suite not when I was actually looking at the through the room. It's when we were walking to the pool in the bar area because it has a little bar now that they got rebuilt. And then I'm walking past because it's on the corner, and I'm walking past all the other suites, and they're like half the size. And those are the like
terrace
$1,200 ones.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, we got like super magical. It's
Yeah.
like they really shook Tinkerbell for this one.
So we're like, oh, this is cool. Well, we did go on July 3rd. So we thought maybe, July 4th is when everybody comes in or whatever. I don't know. We did, our stay was the night of July 3rd.
Yeah, but
So
it was really nice. Invited some cousins and nieces over.
the 2
Emmy
girls.
and Mia that you guys know very well through our podcast. And, because it kind of seems like a waste if you don't have people at that point.
Yeah, we were like, well.
They live in Anaheim. So it's kind of like,
come over and swim.
Yeah, and so they got to come over and hang out a little bit. So yeah,
They went in the splash pad on the splash pad.
I wish some of you guys were there looking for our in-park giveaway, which we didn't give away, but
Oh yeah, we weren't in the park that much.
we would have invited you guys over too. And that would be cool. I mean, a big rope dropping knowledge party like at one of the hotels. That'd be pretty fun. Goals, right?
Yeah.
Definite goals. But yeah, so thank you, Disney.
Whoever upgraded us.
It was super. It was Magic Rex. T-Rex.
Yes.
But yeah, that was cool. But yeah, we went to the parks as well.
Yes.
And had a pretty cool park day. Kind of wanted to spend a lot of time in the room.
Yeah, we spent most of the time in the room. We'll talk about our taste talk, but we ordered in.
Yeah.
Ate in the room.
Yeah.
Drank in the room. We didn't even make it. We only made it to DCA in the morning for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just went
Stacked,
to Disneyland
yeah.
after.
Yep. And stacked
After the girls
lightning
left.
lanes. Mm-hmm. So it was a good fun day, and July 3rd's not a bad day to go. So
No, yeah.
I
Well,
mean-
especially this year because July 5th was a Thursday, right? So most people probably did a 4-day weekend, Thursday through Sunday type of thing.
Yeah.
So that's probably why a lot of people didn't arrive yet until the next day, and
Right.
maybe there were rooms for
So-
us. Or they were sold out of regular rooms that they're like,
Well, they
just
were
give
sold
us-
out. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why that was the only room available. They overbooked, and we got this.
So you
Upgrade.
get the Pixel.
You got the Pixel. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty fun day. I don't remember. I remember we had Carthay, and then when we saw the
Canceled it.
room, we canceled it. Like, we're gonna stay in here as much as possible.
Especially to have the big kitchenette and the whole dining room table. It's like, okay, we'll sit here and eat.
Yeah, and they got the Ratatouille statues.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. One thing that I do like is the stacking of the lightning lanes,
Yeah.
because I'm really getting used to. I used to not like it, and I don't know what it is about 2024. I'm liking Disneyland at night more and more.
See?
But it's because I don't like it during
only-
the day as much, because there's
It's hot.
nowhere to sit. Well,
Yeah.
both of places are hot. It's just you can't chill.
Well, it's also better at night when you're staying on property, then you don't have to deal with trying to get back.
Yeah, I don't like the
The
rush
fireworks
or standing in line
rush
with the
and-
shuttle or
Yeah.
And sometimes, walking's not bad if you're staying close, but
But then you're tired.
sometimes you don't feel like walking if you've already walked
Yeah.
15 miles.
Yeah.
So, but first world problems. But I do like there is a psychological thing that comes with staying on property at Disney. It's not like Florida where staying on property is still miles away. It's
You
because
have to figure out how to get back still.
yeah, because staying on property in Disneyland, there's like on the 10th we're staying at Disneyland Hotel, and that's actually farther, or probably just as far as like the Sheraton.
Yeah.
If you walk all the way through downtown Disney, especially if you're staying in the new upgraded towers, the DVC towers, that's probably about the same distance. So, but there's a psychology that you're on property, it doesn't seem as far.
Yeah, you're in the bubble.
Yeah. So I'm willing to like stay and close out the park because if I'm staying on property, we're on property, I don't have to walk far. Even though it's probably the same distance. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's an illusion. Yeah, so that was fun. And again, we are going to be back at the parks this Sunday. So look for us because we really want to get rid of that giveaway that we've had since the beginning of the year. So find us, say, give us the pin. And then the next time you see us on August 10th, we'll have something new. All righty. What's next?
USA Today article.
USA Today.
USA Today wrote an article about the new DOS.
Yeah.
And not about the new DOS, but it was about, it is about the new DOS. It's about disabled Disney guests demand action after DOS program changes.
Yeah.
So it was the first article that came out about this, and I think it started because of a popular TikToker.
Yeah, I think we talked about her last time, right?
Did we? I forgot.
Yeah.
But now
She's
finally
the
there's something in the article about it. And they just described, kind of like interviewed her and described what her story was about. And she was approved before. She just got out of the interview, wasn't approved. And she's a Magic Key holder, so she's going to continue to go to Disneyland. But she may just have to buy Genie Plus, because they told... Well, I mean, and then they said what they said was you weren't turned away. You were given an alternative accommodation, which is the return time or whatever that is.
That's some serious corporal speak. You almost have to respect it.
Yeah, so they said, no, you weren't, denied anything.
That's HR speak,
Yeah.
No,
So,
you weren't. You didn't lose your job. This was a reduction in force.
because she could still do the accommodation.
You weren't fired.
I mean, I understand what they mean when you can still have but I don't agree with them saying you could still do other alternative by buying Genie Plus. That's not really an accommodation.
Technically, it is. Yeah. I mean, it's like kind of, it's kind of like a wheelchair ramp on a sidewalk, but if every sidewalk doesn't have one, you have to go 2 streets down to use the one that they put in. Technically, depending on the jurisdiction, that might be in compliance. You can cross this particular street.
Yeah.
But it's still not equal access.
Right.
So, yeah, it's weird. And, I don't know, I have a lot of different thoughts, but it all comes from my work, which doesn't really apply to Disney.
Yeah.
There's the Cal OSHA stuff. To me, I've talked about this numerous times. I don't know why they want wheelchairs and other things like in like the Haunted Mansion elevator.
Yeah.
Or spaces like that.
Yeah.
Like the Indiana Jones, like that when you're first getting on, like the rope section, all the way actually to the little elevator inside the queue. Those places are so narrow, and it's like having people navigate that, in a motorized cart, it seems weird.
Well, in this instance, she said that the reason why is she has that tracheal
She has, yeah.
tube and
Mm-hmm.
that she has to drain.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I don't want to be doing that in front of people in line. She has to leave to do that, and
Yeah.
so yeah, she says she's just gonna try the return time or just buy Genie Plus. Um, and then they did say in the article that Disney's official statement is that they did provide more training or the cast members that are in the field now are trained to do that return time accommodation. Can you explain that? Because I don't even know what that means. The return time accommodation thing.
Yeah. So I was, and I think I said it on this podcast before, where I didn't understand how they would leave it up to individual cast members to decide
Yeah.
if they got some sort of accommodation
For each ride.
For each particular ride.
Mhm.
Yeah. And if they didn't train, they were going to be in some big trouble. So they said, well, nope, we've been training our staff, so they had to put out that statement. The problem with training, and again, this is corpo speak, and it's like, trust me, I know it's my job to do that sometimes. We have a great head of learning and development at our company, so we don't pull these type of tricks, but technically training could just simply be a pamphlet that they have to acknowledge that they read.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Right.
I mean, they could say, yep, we did this, and then someone talked to them about it. And then technically that's training. It doesn't necessarily mean that they went through, an entire course or of different scenarios. And what do you do if this happens? Or what if you do if this happens, or if this type of person comes up, not person, but disability, you see this or that. That doesn't mean they did all that. And I guarantee you they didn't have the time. There's 14... I mean, we talked about the strike, and the strike said, just the people who belong to these unions that are about to strike is 14,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
You telling me you trained, since the time you did this change, you trained over 14,000 people? I doubt it, with a real training.
Right.
I don't think so. I think it probably was something, watch this, YouTube clip.
But I mean, what are they going to ask to say? I mean, say so return to queue or whatever just means your party's in line, then you come in through the exit to meet your party when your party's at the
that's
to get
probably,
on the ride.
but that's
or something.
one scenario, yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what you would say for them to be like yes or no.
Yeah, and I don't know how you could train them to ensure equal treatment.
Yeah,
even if that's the only thing they can offer.
Yeah,
how do you determine who you say yes to and who you say no to?
Exactly.
And if you say yes to some people and not others, then there's just too many cameras. There's too many. Everyone has a cell phone. Someone's going to record it. They're going to be like, you let them in and didn't let them in. And it's like, I don't know. It's causing a lot of problems. Now, it's not to say that I have an answer, because I do know, I mean, we learned that word, what was it? Impacted, like like a few months ago. Yeah, it is a situation. DOS impacts the line, but what really impacts the line, and I hate to say it because we use it all the time, is Genie Plus.
Yes.
So what they did is they're like, well, and this is where I'm going to side with, the Johnnies of the world, because now it's an ethical issue, right? What they should have done is, try to say, how can we, lighten the Genie Plus in order to, accommodate more DOS people. They said, we would rather inconvenience disabled people than lose the Genie Plus money. Because both of them impact the line probably, maybe not even the same.
Yeah.
I'm sure, because lots of people buy Lightning. So, so that's where it comes down to. And what I would have, I mean, again, this is just me speaking, somebody who doesn't see Disney's books, somebody who's not in the logistics of Disney. I would just start saying, maybe if I can't give you DOS, maybe for that day you go to town hall. Instead of having to go to every cast member.
Yeah,
we'll give you like a
DOS pass for the day.
A DOS pass for the day, or or so many lightning lanes,
or free Genie
or
Plus
just
for the
free
day,
Genie Plus,
or whatever
or something,
it's called
depending
now.
on your situation, right?
Yeah. Why does it have to be each thing, each ride?
Yeah, I would have done something to where, I don't know, maybe have like DOS but different tiers. Like a red, blue, and green, and
Yeah.
this one gets this one gets that, and that could all be determined through the interview process.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be on the cast members who are on the ground.
Right.
Some of them who are 18.
Well, yeah. I mean, the exact quote here from this TikToker, and she also did a TED Talk, so she's pretty popular. She says this is the exact quote from the cast member: "You weren't denied the DOS. You were provided other accommodations, and it's up to you to take it. If you like, you can purchase Genie Plus."
See, they shouldn't have said that.
I know.
They should,
It's like, oh man,
you shouldn't have said
heck?
that, man. That's not a good look.
But anyways, there's other examples.
See, I would have given Genie Plus. Like
That's what I'm
the PR that they're going to lose on this
Yeah.
is worth giving 10,000 people Genie Plus.
Yeah, it's like, okay, fine, you get Genie Plus, If you want to
100,000
have them
people
interview
Genie
every
Plus.
90 days like they have to anyways,
Yeah.
then just say, okay, every 90 days, come back, see if we give you Genie Plus again.
Yeah.
That's all. Like,
yeah.
so then the second scenario was another a mother that they spoke to, whose daughter has to leave for just same reasons. I don't know the details, but they said, okay, you can, meet your party, take your daughter to do whatever she needs to do, meet your party back in line. And that's the whole excuse me
Yeah,
thing.
her child.
And she's like, I would rather they give me a big red sign that says, hello, my daughter's disabled, so that when I go, excuse me, they know why, than just me not holding anything and just saying, excuse me, thinking that she's cutting in line or something,
Yeah.
right? She's like, just give me a big scarlet letter and let me say, excuse me. But that's what she had to do with her daughter. But
then the comments were like, yeah, leave your kid with someone.
oh, no, that was...
that was a different one?
Yeah, no, that was like when, I don't know if...
Or maybe this was a one-off or something.
No, this is just in the article, the other example of return
No, but I
to
remember you
queue.
were reading or something where somebody said, leave your kid with a cast member.
Yes, so that's Gothic Rosie. She said that she's just been collecting examples.
Uh-huh.
And one cast member said, if you're the person with the disability, they said, oh, leave your kid in line and go do what you need to do and come back and meet your kid later. But you can't leave your kid in line.
Yeah.
Isn't it the Disney policy, like under 14, they can't be alone or can't ride alone? They can't even go on single riders if they're under 14. Because I hear cast members asking kids, how old are you when they're in the single rider line?
Yeah. And not only that, we don't know what disability the child has.
It was the
adult
parent.
will have the disability.
Yeah, so leave your child in line who's not disabled.
Yeah.
You go
Yeah.
out
Okay,
of line if standing in line's uncomfortable for you. Meet your kid later. Now these are examples that were collected. This wasn't in the article. This is something else.
Oh
So-
boy, if I was Universal, man, I'd be like putting those things.
Like, yeah, look what Disney did.
I'm not saying they do any better. I don't know what their system is, but
Yeah, who knows what they have? But this mom, people gave her dirty looks, all this stuff, and she's like, I'd rather just have that scarlet letter and saying that my kids.
that were her words.
Yeah, so she would rather do that. Then there was a couple who who has PTSD because of the woman has the PTSD because she's a vet, so she suffers from seizures, and sure, she can stay out of line and meet her husband later, but what if she's suffering from a seizure while she's out of line? So she needs to be with her husband at all times. She can't be meeting up with him later,
Right.
So there's that. So all this other stuff. So these are just some examples, but there's finally an article about it, but I don't know. It's USA Today. I don't know who reads that.
People don't read the paper that much anymore.
I know.
but We're gonna have something
Well,
to read
online,
and a
USA
giveaway.
Today.
Yeah. It's and it's kind of like I get where Disney's coming from and I get why they did it, but again, we also, if they didn't have Genie Plus, I'd just be like, yeah, that's a tough spot. They have to kind of free up space and stuff. but they have Genie Plus, and they're not putting restrictions on that.
Right.
If you pay,
You pay, you get it.
and they even have a word. Oh, the lightning lane is impacted,
Mm-hmm.
and so you better move these paying people.
Oh, the fourth example was this fellow, because the new thing is that the old DOS says that if you have the DOS, your party can go
Yeah.
through with you.
Mm-hmm.
This one says
Oh
up,
yeah.
up to whatever, but only your immediate family members.
Mm-hmm.
But, there's some people who have chosen family members. You know,
Right.
like they don't have parents and they have like best friends that they grew up with who they call their father or whatever. So, like, these are my family members, like these are my chosen family members.
And what's
so
wild about that is that
how do you even?
yeah, you can't even navigate that. And what's wild about that is that like in California, like most FMLA, Family Medical
Mhm.
Leave, the Family Medical Leave Act, basically that allows.
Oh, yeah, they list who is a family.
Yeah, in California we have CRAF, which is kind of
Yeah,
California's version of that.
yeah.
You can actually, and I think this changed like maybe 2 years ago.
Hmm.
Actually, no, maybe I think it was in 2021, but you can actually have a designated family member that you. So if
Oh, yeah, yeah.
if there's somebody who was like just really close to you
Yeah.
that you need to take care of because they're sick or something, you can pretty much apply, the equivalent of FMLA to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because FMLA lets you take care of like family members or, children and stuff. So if this is your neighbor that you're really close to, okay, California allows that and you get that same time off from work that you would as if it was your mother or son, husband, wife or whatever. And it's weird that the government would, and again, it's California's government, so they're pretty employee friendly, but it's taking like a softer stand than the DOS system at Disney.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, that is wild.
Oh man. And here's the thing. Obviously we have a Disney podcast, so we're not like begging on Disney, but I'm just saying like I love Disney. So telling disabled people, oh, well, one of your alternatives is to buy Genie Plus, not good.
Mm.
That's not a good look, And that is, you know what I mean? It's just, why would you even want that out in the ether? Like, why would you even want that printed anywhere? Oh man, I'd rather just say nothing. Just say,
Well, just leave it at you were given you weren't denied, you were given other accommodations.
yeah.
Period.
Even that's pretty.
But yeah, even that's pretty bad. But if you stop there, that would have been, I guess it's okay. It's pretty bad, but it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But then to add on that whole Genie Plus, statement.
Yeah. That sounds like something that's out of Cyberpunk. Or like one of the dystopian, like out of, most people haven't played Cyberpunk,
Mm-hmm.
but that sounds like something that would be out of like, let's say like the Fallout TV show. Right? There's people who haven't played video games will probably watch Fallout, like a corporate dystopia type of thing where, hey, if you're disabled, buy this.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, not a good look. And again, they've never been good at PR. They've never been that great at marketing. For something they used to be the kings. They used to lead the world in both,
Mm-hmm.
which is funny. And now it seems like they're making rookie mistakes. They're making like Tesla level mistakes. like cyber trucks, like cutting people and stuff. I don't know. But I think that they're just kind of like, they're still figuring things out. I don't think this is going to be the final word on anything. Especially, and like I said, like the TikToker, the veteran who has to drain.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people with colostomy bags. There's all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Make her go in line, and she might take one. Someone like that's going to take one for the team, and they're going to do something like drain their bag or colostomy bag in line, and then everything's going to change.
Yeah.
Right then and there, because now it's like, what's really impacted? That's going to be, you're going to have people, and everyone's going to be like, why would you? And it's not like people are going to hate her.
Right.
or someone like that, people are going to be like, why would you make her do that?
Mm-hmm.
It's undignified. It's upsetting other people in line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, and it'll only take one person to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that, but I'm saying eventually you're going to put somebody in line who cannot be in line, and something will happen, whether it's somebody having a seizure.
Yeah.
And that's the way I'm thinking. That's my HR mind thinking. That's the way we always make decisions. When somebody comes into HR and it's like, try to get them ready, and I know that they're not ready, I'm always like, okay, it's an entire field. I can't teach you like a new manager or something. I can't teach you everything.
Mm-hmm.
But when making a decision and you don't have anyone else to call, what would you say in your and it's what my old boss said, what would you say in your CNN interview? Or Fox interview, whatever major network is going to interview, if the worst case scenario happens, what are you going to say? You don't want to say, I told him to buy Genie Plus. That's the one thing you don't want to say.
Well, they didn't buy Genie Plus, and so they had to stand in line, and yeah.
I don't want to be the Secret Service officers or police officers who are like, how did that guy get on the roof?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
taking the politics out of it. How does somebody get on the roof?
Yeah.
These are when it comes to decision making. I'm just talking about decision making. And process.
Well, risk assessment.
Risk assessment.
This is risk assessment.
It's
the risk is, look at what happened when the pregnant girl in front of us fainted. The whole entire ride shut down.
Well, and nobody did anything. We did something.
Yeah.
I ran up to a cast member. He didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So how do you, if we don't know what to do when somebody faints in line in Radiator Springs, which is a super hot line.
Right.
They even installed misters because it's so hot. They know it's hot. If you don't know what to do in that one, he froze.
Yeah.
And guests are kind of taking care of her.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me you train people on disabilities?
But let's just say you did. You want that to happen like every so often? If you're just letting, people who are saying we are not comfortable we can't stand in line, something may happen. If it does happen, it's going to shut down the whole ride. Your customer's not going to know what to do and all that stuff.
That's the least of your problem.
That's like the risk assessment they should be doing.
If that's the best case scenario,
right?
If just the ride shuts down.
Oh yeah. The person's gonna. It's unsafe.
Yeah, it's unsafe for the guests around.
Imagine someone having a seizure in the Indiana Jones cave when you're walking that queue.
Yeah.
Like, hello.
Yeah.
How's anybody gonna get through there? Like paramedics and stuff.
It's actually worse than having a seizure on an airplane.
Yeah.
Because at least most people are seated.
Right.
And so at least if there's somebody can help, it'll be actually more orderly. Everyone here is standing in the dark.
There's no way in or out. You have to go through a sea of. Yeah, that's just a mess.
Yeah. Well.
Anyways.
All right. Next issue.
Okay, so Disneyland cast members are to vote on a strike. The unionized cast members are to vote on a strike on Monday, whether to authorize the strike. They're going to vote. And these are Disney union cast members that are about 15,000 cast members, like you mentioned, that include food and commercial workers employed throughout the theme park.
Yeah, it's a group of people. I don't know what Disney would do if all of them actually went on strike. And there's different types of strikes.
Yeah, so they did rally on July 17th, which is the day of Disneyland's birthday. Mm-hmm. They rallied on Harbor. So they're going to meet on Monday. And this is because...
Sounds like a rave. Rally on Harbor.
And this because since April, they've been negotiating a new contract, seeking wage increase, safety improvements. I
hope they bring the DAS thing up.
Yeah,
talk about safety improvement.
Hello, that's not a safe...
you expect me to be...
to know what to do when a guest,
I hate to go backwards, but companies hire... one of my friends from work, my old work, get paid a lot of money because he's a safety officer. Mm-hmm. Elias, Izzy, safety officer. Organizations actually hire these people to handle disabilities and stuff. 18-year-old cast members can't do that.
Right.
And And I mean, I'm not going really backwards because we're talking about they want improved safety. This is also for
This
the
is
cast
safety
members.
for the cast
We
members.
are not blaming the cast members on this. And
Yeah.
I'm telling. I know people thinking like, okay, we went from the DOS system to the strike, and this is not a Disney hit episode. We're just telling you what's currently in the news. And
We already said we got a magical upgrade, so cool, Disney.
yeah. Well,
Now
we're
there's some
stoked.
uncool stuff.
Yeah. But this is what
Evened it out.
This is what people are talking about.
Yeah. But no, we just want to make you aware that,
Mm-hmm.
meeting on Monday to see what's going on. And if they do strike, there's going to be some, what do they call them?
Well,
If there's
it
a strike.
depends. There's a lot of different things that can happen with different types of strikes. There's like a staggered strike
Mhm.
where some people strike like maybe like half the cast,
Mm.
or they call it like they used to call it the blue flu, like a certain amount of people call in sick that day.
Mm.
So it makes operating difficult, but it doesn't shut everything down.
Mhm.
Then there's like a total strike, which is no one
Not
shows
show
up.
up.
No one shows up. There is a limited strike where we're going to strike for these 3 days
Mhm.
and then go back to work. But that's just to give you a taste of
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
so it's like that. So there's a lot of different types of things. But today they're voting for, and it's Friday. They're voting on the authorization to strike.
Okay.
So that's what they're doing today, and then the results will be revealed tomorrow, which is Saturday.
Mhm.
And then on Monday, that's when the union leaders. So if they get the authorization,
Mhm.
that's when the union leaders could say, "Hey, we got the authorization." When they
Oh,
go
okay.
meet
That's
on Monday, Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And they meet with Disney.
I
So
see.
the meeting with Disney's already scheduled.
I see.
So so it's not going to affect anything this weekend. It's basically if they said if they don't see movement, they have the power to strike if the vote passes.
Right.
And it's California. I'm probably thinking the vote's going to pass. We're a very union-friendly state.
Mhm.
And when I say union-friendly, I don't just mean the government. I mean the people.
Mhm.
Like, I was telling people, like, because I have 6 states under my purview, and I'm telling people on the East Coast, they're like, man, California is like, I'm like, you have no idea. It's like they're giving high school students are going to be taught labor law in their senior year coming
Mhm.
up. And so they're going to graduate high school with knowing, employment law better than most like 40-year-olds now. People who've been fired 6 times that, who are like our age, like I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if that was fair. Now you're going to graduate high school with some knowledge of like, nope, can't do that. That's double jeopardy. Or no, I should have been unpaid admin leave. You suspended me and now you're trying to fire me. That's 2 disciplines for the same act. You can't do that. They're going to know these things as
Yeah.
seniors, as 17-year-olds, man. That's gonna that's why a lot of companies, don't like doing business in California. The reason they do business in California is because there's so much money to be made here.
Yeah.
It's still a golden state, so it is what it is. But to say, everything to that basically what I'm saying is I expect the vote to pass
Mhm.
because the population of California is just kind of very union. It's not like an anti-union
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
where in certain states they're just like, I don't trust the union.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's not California, So we will see.
We will see.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the bummer news for today.
All righty.
It's Taste Talk with Tracy. Mash some magic in your mouth.
So as we mentioned, we had Great Maple to go. So we ordered takeout because we wanted to eat in our upgraded room. So, and the Great Maple is right there inside the Pixar Place Hotel. So we ordered, let's see what we had, is the portobello mushroom fries, which are Parmesan red pepper flakes on top of it, and then basil pesto aioli, and it was really good. It's like basically portobello mushrooms cut and deep fried.
Yeah.
And the sauce was really good too.
Yeah, it
the
was really
aioli.
good.
So that was good.
I don't know why I it's one of those things where I don't, the only thing that I really hate is avocados.
Mm-hmm.
But anything like that's kind of similar. I kind of like I like mushrooms. I like broccoli. I like
Mushrooms
different.
not like avocado.
I mean, well, I don't even know what you would consider adjacent to avocado, but it's like I like everything
Nothing.
else. Yeah, maybe that's because it doesn't belong on Earth. So you're right. It's probably an invasive species.
Did you like the pesto aioli? It's green.
Yeah, green doesn't bother me.
It looks
just
like avocado. It's green.
Gross, but yeah, the mushrooms are good. I like mushrooms. I don't mind onions. You know, they're not my favorite thing, but I don't mind them. I can eat peppers. You know, if I eat like fajitas and stuff, I don't like to. I wouldn't just munch on a
Yeah,
pepper.
I don't like
but
bell peppers.
yeah, I don't really like them either. But if they're in a salad or on something, I'm like, okay, whatever. Avocados is the only thing. It's just it's just evil incarnate. It's like the dark hold of food. It's basically
It's funny. And the other thing we had was the ribeye melt. It's basically a sandwich with ribeye, cheddar,
That was
aioli,
good.
onions, tomato, arugula, my favorite vegetable. And then we upgraded it to Parmesan truffle fries instead of regular fries.
Yeah, you do that everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
Everywhere they offer it.
Everywhere they offer Parmesan truffle fries, I'm getting it, or garlic fries, I'm getting it. And then I didn't know this, but we wanted to drink. We wanted a cocktail. And then I asked, when I called down to order, I asked if I could order a cocktail. And he said, yeah, but when you come pick it up, just walk up to the bar and order it so your drink is made fresh, I guess. And so I was like, okay. So I went and picked it up, sat at the bar and ordered 2 maple bacon old-fashioned. It was on the menu. It's maple bacon old-fashioned. Basically, it's an old-fashioned, and it has bacon washed bourbon, maple syrup, bitters, and you can see in the picture a thick cut smoked.
Big old piece of bacon.
Yeah, thick cut smoked bacon on top, which is cool because it made it taste smoky like the old-fashioned that they put in the thing,
in
and
the smoky
smoke
glass.
comes out. Yeah. So, they put it in a to-go cup, and we brought it to our room.
So
you could do that.
It was good. And the bacon is funny because it's great maple. That bacon is better than like Denny's bacon. Like it's still,
well, of course.
I know, but it's like in a drink. Like I could get
I
better
see.
bacon in a drink than I can get at most restaurants. From the great maple. And I didn't even want the bacon in the thing, but it is a cool, for the gram type of thing. And it does give it a little
The
a unique taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I liked it.
You ate. I think you ate the bacon.
Yeah, I ate it. I ate yours. I always eat the garnish.
So I would give the ribeye melt probably an 8. It was pretty good.
8.
The mushrooms I'd probably give 7.5.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
I give that one a 9. That's my favorite.
I think I think by the time I bit into it, because I was eating the sandwich first, they were a little cold, but that was on us.
Oh, yeah.
Probably if I just got them like fresh.
Yeah, you're supposed to eat them as like an appetizer. The first thing you eat.
Yeah, and we ate it in our room.
Yeah.
So probably if they pap them down and I just put one in my mouth, I'd probably up it a notch.
Yeah.
And then the other drink, on point.
Yep.
Good old fashioned. So definitely recommend the Great Maple. And that's not even what they're known for. They're known for breakfast.
Oh yeah, they are known for breakfast.
So
we've been to Great Maple twice, and we had brunch there, and we had breakfast food.
So I mean, if we're giving their dinner stuff like these pretty high scores, it's almost a different category we need for their breakfast because it's just.
And I don't think they
level.
have this at other Great Maples. So the ones in San Diego that we've been to and Newport don't have. They just have breakfast food or brunch food.
Yeah.
I don't think they have ribeye melt and steak and all that at other Great Maples.
I'll check. We'll see.
Yeah.
Some of them close early too, right?
Yeah, because it's only supposed to be for brunch.
Yeah, early. Yeah. That's one thing for all of you guys listening outside of California. Southern California, especially like San Diego and Orange County, they love breakfast and brunch.
Yeah.
You cannot on a Sunday, especially even a Saturday, but on a Sunday, if you want to eat brunch, sometimes at a really good place, sometimes it's weeks in advance. Like Tom Ham's, our number one spot, weeks in advance. We if you want to go there, we took our mothers there to meet for the first time when we got engaged. I had to make sure.
Yeah, we made the reservations in like February or something.
Yeah, February, and it was like May. I think that we went because it's, man, I don't know what it is, but yeah, sunny.
People love their brunch.
I think it's the weather. It's like
Yeah, the weather.
it's like mimosas on the beach on the water.
All
It's
you
just
can
something
drink
about that
mimosas,
atmosphere.
yeah.
You know, I don't
But
think
even
people.
everywhere.
I don't think people in Wisconsin and Philly really care as much about breakfast. Maybe diner food, but they're just kind of like, yeah, I know, but I stick your mimosas. You know.
Well, like everywhere, like even in Orange County, with Broken Yolk, Snooze.
Well, Broken Yolk came up from San Diego. It started. In
Yeah,
San
all
Diego.
the ones in Orange County are from like Snooze. Snooze is in San Diego, and it's in Orange County. And it's like a 2-hour wait. They don't take reservations. It's
Yeah.
2-hour wait.
And
Broken
people will
Yolk.
wait. You know,
Yeah.
they don't wait just like Disney. They'll. So if you get a chance though, and I think this is pretty good to know because a lot of people don't even know Great Maple's there yet.
Yeah.
I mean, Disney files know, but like, if you can't get like a character breakfast or something
Yeah.
like that, I think Great Maple's a great choice.
Or if you just want to go to brunch
yeah,
and you're not going to, you just want to go to brunch, just go to the Great Maple in Disneyland, in Pixar, because, you know, you just park and go and they probably validate or
and the
something.
food's better than that you're going to get in those buffets.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get as much, obviously, because it's not a buffet. But yeah.
Yeah.
All righty. You know what? I came up with a topic that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't know I was going to rant so much on DOS. So I'm going to save this topic for our next episode.
Okay.
But basically, yeah, it has to do with. It'll just be me ranting on generational stuff.
Which I'll probably do when we do our Acolyte review.
Yeah, we still have the Acolyte review, spoiler review at the end, but it's always, we put our spoiler reviews at the end of the episode. We give you plenty of time to cut out if you haven't seen it. So that'll be after Dot Points Disney, which is happening right now.
Dot Points Disney.
Okay, just to make sure we're at Dot Points Disney, not the spoiler yet, so you don't have to tune out yet.
Right.
So there was another Fantasmic malfunction, even without the dragon. Mickey misfires his finger, his pyro finger, and he misfires too early, so he accidentally fired at himself. He looks to be okay, but it was like I saw the video where he was like, psh, it was coming out before he reached the part of the stage that it was supposed to come out, and he was like, ah. But yeah, he's fine. He's okay. Hopefully nothing happened, but yes. I don't know, something about that show in Disneyland.
I know.
Not a Disney World, but Disneyland. Yeah.
Which is funny because it's like a Florida type accident. you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
I'm kidding, Florida.
Oh, I wasn't. Just kidding.
I know.
Okay. No hating, no hating. Disney Cruise Vacations has a new ship. It's coming to Japan in 2029. It will be owned by the Oriental Land Company, which is the company that currently owns Tokyo Disney. So Disney's getting their first cruise in Japan. Not
Cool.
really Disney's, but owned by.
It'll be Disney themed.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Yep.
I don't know why I put Deadpool and Wolverine. We're gonna go see it next Friday. Maybe because we probably won't be
You're so
talking to
hyped
you
about it. Yeah.
next Friday, so we might go see it next Friday. I might have jury duty. I don't know.
Yeah, that's coming up, and yeah, I think it's a big event. I think it's worth talking about a little bit. Well, first of all, the final trailer came out today, so go watch that, and it has, you know, I don't want, not that you can really spoil a trailer, but it has some things that I didn't expect to see in it. And I do expect, or at least I'm hoping and expecting, that it does kind of start tying things together the way recent MCU properties have not. And it's already done more than most because it's already tied to Loki, because
Yeah.
it's got the TVA in it. Everyone knows that. They're in every trailer. So
And then you can see Ant-Man's big head.
yeah. So it's already, I mean, and that's pretty sad that
I know.
Deadpool's trailers have done more for the connectivity of the MCU than actual
Than
movies.
all those movies that came out
and TV
this
shows
last
Yeah.
year.
Just the trailers. So Now, the only thing that I'm worried about is that people like me, I don't, and this is what I was going to talk about, but we'll save it for the next episode. How Gen Xers kind of appreciate things a little more than the millennials because, we grew up with nothing. The fact that we can actually see Deadpool in live action is like, whoa, it's not like something that was always there.
Right.
So, my expectations, I'm easily placated. That doesn't mean that I don't have my ranking system of what I like most and what I like best. But, but even for me, even for somebody who's easily placated, I have high expectations for this. And so I don't want to be disappointed because my expectations are so high.
Yeah.
So, and you usually don't hear me say that. Like, oh, Tracy, my expectations are really high for this. I'm always like the bummer.
Yeah, we're always like going into it like, all right,
Yeah, we'll see,
And we always
it'll be fun. It'll be a fun night out, But yeah, definitely looking forward to this. We're seeing it Friday, the 26th. That's when it comes out for most people. Some people get to see it early because they're having their premiere this week. So, yeah, hope you guys get to see it because we'll probably be spoiling it the next episode. having a spoiler section, just like we're doing with the Acolyte this episode. So, all right.
So there's a new scene leak of Daredevil and the Punisher?
Yeah.
Or is that's the Daredevil show?
The Daredevil show.
Oh, okay.
But the Punisher's in
I thought
it.
Daredevil and Punisher scene leak in Deadpool. I'm like, what?
Oh, no. You never know. But Ryan Reynolds, it's like all his new toys, that he gets to play with that there was IP locked before.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool because I think everyone knew that Punisher's probably showing up, but it was
in Daredevil, yeah.
But they actually have, some footage of him now, so it looks pretty cool.
Like the actual actor from the Punisher?
Yeah, Bernthal. Yeah, he's still in it. They're not going to get rid of him. He was one of the best things about Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix universe or the Netflix Marvel. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So they totally reworked it from what it was originally. I think even they got different writers and stuff. So, but the fact that they have the Punisher, that's a good sign. And we already know that Kingpin's going to be in it. And even for those people who didn't really like Echo, I think it's going to tie in really well.
Yeah.
So sometimes certain shows, certain properties are just, you have to look at them just for support. And again, that's just me being easily placated. But from a making sense standpoint, I think, some things will support and then some things will be your pillars. And I think this show will be a pillar, hopefully, because they're putting all the things that Netflix had, which made Daredevil popular. Because Daredevil was a hit on Netflix. A lot of people didn't even watch it because they didn't even know that was a show, Oh, and by the way, a shout out to Hit Monkey. This is season 2. It's a lot of people don't even know, but that's a Marvel character as well. That's Marvel.
That's what you've been watching?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I watched the first season,
Carrie was asking me, what we watch. I'm like, we go off on our own when it comes to shows that are non-Disney.
Yeah.
I told her I don't watch shows. I watch old movies, and then you watch all your nerdy stuff. And she's like, what's nerdy stuff? I'm like, I don't know, some animated stuff.
He's watching a monkey shoot people right now.
Yeah, I'm like, it has something to do with comics. Maybe it's anime. I don't know.
It's Marvel. It's Marvel.
Oh, okay, it's Marvel. I said comics. Anywho.
You need to redeem yourself when we talk Acolyte. No.
I will. Just kidding.
But yeah, it's a Marvel show, and if you haven't seen it, it's on Hulu, by the way. So it's not on Disney Plus. So that's why a lot of people might not know about it. What's really cool is what we found out is that our Hulu app wasn't working, but you can watch Hulu through
glitchy.
But you can just watch it through Disney Plus.
Yeah,
now.
just watch it through Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus. Well, if you have a Hulu account, you can just boom right through there, and it's actually better quality. So I don't know why, but yeah. So shout out, and then if you haven't seen season 1, that's even better. That means you could binge all of I think all of season 2 is out already too. Yeah, I think they released it all at once. So you could binge 2 seasons at once if you want to. It's a really good show. Yes, it's about a monkey assassin. I know. Trust me, it's good. It's rated R. It's very
Yeah,
violent.
yeah.
So you might want to keep the kiddies away if they're not teenagers. But trust me, it's pretty good. If you like Deadpool, it's kind of in that vein. And in the comics, him and Deadpool are rivals. So might even see him Friday. Who knows? All right.
So then we have the trailer for Captain America: Brave New World, or teaser, I guess, not really a trailer yet.
Yeah.
But Harrison Ford is in it. Giancarlo Esposito is in it, and two great actors.
Yep.
Harrison Ford. I've been on this Harrison Ford movie binge. Air Force One, The Fugitive, all epic movies.
You like that meme I shared?
Oh yeah, the meme, yeah.
You may be the Falcon and Captain
Captain
America,
America.
but you'll never be the captain of the Millennium Falcon. Now get off my plane.
Yeah. He's always the president.
I know.
But yeah, Harrison Ford movies are cool. Like
Yeah, and I there's so many things that I think that they're taken from the comics. I don't want to go too much into it because I think they will be spoilery. So, I mean, they already kind of spoiled kind of one thing at the end, but yeah, we will see. But they've had a lot of rewrites. So when they have a lot of rewrites, a lot of people say, "Ooh, that's a bad sign." To me, first of all, rewrites are always budgeted in, and second, it's better than just saying, "Whoop, well, we're good," and letting it go. So I'm thinking if they screened it and and there were some things that people are complaining about, they had enough time to where, and they had a lot of time, especially with the pandemic and everything got pushed back and all of that. Hopefully they can make it good. And if they see, hopefully Deadpool is really good and what I expect it to be, then everybody else who still has rewrites that are still budgeted but haven't been done, they will look at Deadpool and say, okay, that could be kind of like the template. And that's what I'm hoping for.
yeah.
So when I say Deadpool could save the MCU, I mean, everyone is so dramatic. The MCU is going to go on with or without.
Nobody's saving it.
No one's saving it. Oh, this is going to save Star Wars. This will kill Star Wars. What? No. All these things will be around after we're all gone.
Yeah.
Okay. But to make it really better and to get and to get that engagement back that it used to have, I think Deadpool could be the movie to do it. But I don't just mean by the movie itself. I mean other directors, producers, Kevin Feige himself can look at Deadpool hopefully and say, "This is how you do it. This is what we're doing going forward." That's what I mean by it can reset the MCU. And hopefully, Captain America could benefit from that if they see it and they still have a couple of rewrites that they can do, or a couple of things that they can move here and there. So, all right.
And then Loki season 2 has 3 Emmy nominations.
Yeah. And I'll give credit to Ryan Arey on Screen Crush for this idea. But if I would, and again, we talked about the DOS system. We talked about all this stuff about Disney PR. It's not just the parks. It's everything. When Ryan Arey is right, if I were Disney, everybody who has Disney Plus has already seen Loki. I would have, leading up to Deadpool, I would be running Loki for, I don't know how many, for season 1 and 2.
Yeah,
all
every
the
day on
ABC.
Yeah, I think I heard him say that.
Yeah.
So
For
people
everyone to
can
watch it for
see
free.
and catch up.
Yeah, and then it does two things. One, it's like this is what's leading up to the big movie you guys are going to go see. So it helps promote the movie. And two, this is what you're missing on Disney Plus. If you're not subscribed, this is what you're missing.
And you're also helping the dying network TV.
Yeah.
Like somebody
Yeah,
watch
you'd
it,
get some
please,
ratings.
or something.
I know. There's also that. So it's a hat trick. You
Yeah.
know? So yeah.
That is a good idea, but their marketing. Like we said that about Ahsoka. Why didn't they just like release Clone Wars or something? Snippets of Clone War, important episodes on somewhere so that people can catch up.
Yeah.
They did do that thing on Disney Plus on important
but people
episodes
who
to
have
watch.
Disney, and that's the thing. That's the thing that frustrates me from a business standpoint. You don't have to hype Disney Plus people up to watch anything on Disney Plus. You already have their money.
Mm-hmm.
Just from a business standpoint.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
you should still try to please your customers. That's not my point. My point is that streaming doesn't survive on advertising,
Right.
like network TV.
Mm-hmm.
So all your revenue is from new subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
So you're constantly trying to get new people in.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want new people to get in, you can't just show your best stuff on there. You have to show teasers.
Yeah.
The UFC, again, I always talk about the UFC. Everyone says, "Oh, these Neanderthal cage fighting people." You know,
Mm-hmm.
the one thing they've always done right is yes, they make their money off pay-per-view,
Mm-hmm.
but the prelims are always free.
Mm.
So, and what they've started doing is showing. So, like, let's say you have, like just a main event fight, like a Conor McGregor fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was supposed to fight, it got canceled. They will release, like leading up to that fight, they've started to release past fights for free on YouTube.
Mm.
So now it's like, oh, wow, that guy is pretty exciting. Oh, wow, blah, 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 blah. So if you happen to be inclined, I mean, if cage fighting is not your thing, then fine. You're not their market anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're the kind of person that's like, yeah, I like martial arts, I does this, I just never thought about spending money on a pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And then you watch that, now it's
you're
like,
invested.
now I'm invested, Okay, now you got me because you showed me this for free. Da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing is going on in jiu-jitsu now. And this is way off topic, but I like talking about our lives and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I know people. There's the biggest. My friend fought in the first one. ADCC is Abu Dhabi Combat Club is the best no-gi. That means grappling without the kimono, without the traditional uniform. In rash guards and stuff. Grappling competition in the world, but they always put it behind a paywall, and they never really pay the fighters. Now this Australian guy, Craig Jones, who he's famous for always coming in second. He's like the second best guy in the world. Went to an investor, and he's now giving away $1 million prize money. Before, the winners at ADC only got $10,000. Now he's giving $10,001 just for the people to compete, for every competitor.
Wow.
And he has 2 weight categories, over 80 kilos and below, $1 million for the winner of each of those. And on top of it, it's free on YouTube. And what he did is he put it on the same day as ADCC.
As the what?
As the ADCC.
Oh.
So that's a very capitalist way of is how you can make change in an industry, without the union route.
Yeah.
Because he's like, so there's a union way, because we kind of talked about that earlier, of changing the way a business does things. The capitalist way is like, well, I'm just going to give people more money. and then I'm going to give it away for free, so we're going to have a bigger audience. And he didn't license it as like an LLC or a corporation. He licensed it as a 501c3. All the ticket sales are going to charity.
Oh.
So it's not even about him making money personally. It's about the competitors making money and getting more eyeballs on the sport. And it's going to be huge. And the fact that this Australian grappler can do this and Disney can't do that.
Can't.
Again, this is not a Disney hit episode. We're going to have a lot of good things to say on the Acolyte.
Yeah.
So you wait for that. But, hire me. I'll do it myself. Is that it? Or do we have anything else?
I mean, there's the whole Disney's giving Anaheim residents ticket offers for $69.
Yeah, we got to mention that. Yeah.
$69 a day for one park.
I know.
I mean, if you want to hop, it's $104. It's always
Still not bad.
$55 more.
Not bad
but
for Disney.
Yeah.
Good on
So,
Disney for doing that.
Anaheim residents only, though.
And see, to me, that's smart. Because to me, it's like, these are the people who vote on your expansions. See, like, and I don't even think they thought about that. I thought they're probably just thinking we're doing something good for the people of Anaheim. You know what I mean? They're not even thinking how this benefits them.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, let's give the people of Anaheim something.
Yeah.
Or maybe they do have one smart person that should be running things and is probably just in charge of Disney parks. Maybe it's just tomorrow or something. We like tomorrow.
We like tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That is it.
So now we are going to do the Acolyte review, the rope dropping knowledge review of the Acolyte. And you can cut out if you don't want to be spoiled. We will be doing a giveaway at the end, but at the chimes, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right. So, Star Wars: The Acolyte wrapped up this week. 8 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I guess we will get into that on our next episode about the different divisions and the different expectations.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of hate about the show going in. Screen Crush is a good channel to watch. Generation Tech is a good channel to watch if you want balanced reviews. Because they're not like overly like Disney shows. They're not like, oh, everything's awesome.
Or New Rock Stars if you
New
want
Rock
a
Stars
detailed Easter
New Rock
egg
Stars
kind
is
of
also
thing. Yeah.
yeah. New Rock Stars broke down the Kendrick Lamar videos. Like, so shout out to New Rock Stars.
During the shutdown, they broke down the Frozen 2 trailer.
Yeah.
They had nothing to do, so they broke down the Frozen 2 trailer.
Yeah.
But their breakdowns are really good.
That's what we kind of ride with. We ride
Yeah.
when it comes to like content creators on YouTube and Disney stuff. We look out New Rock Stars, Screen Crush. I like Generation Tech for Star Wars, and then Heavy Spoilers.
Yeah.
So those are pretty good channels, and they're not always positive. So they're
But
balanced.
they never
but
complain.
they're fair.
Yeah,
But they're
they're
fair.
neutral. Mm-hmm.
They're neutral, but if there's something they don't like about something, they have criticisms, they give it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And but they're not hating because this is woke or this is this, or they don't bring any politics into it. New rock stars a little bit, but none of the other ones though.
Yeah.
So overall, I will just give you my overall take, and then you can tell me yours.
Okay.
I really liked it. Now, are there things that I didn't like about it? Yeah, and we could talk about those. But the things that I didn't like, I would say that I was thinking how do I articulate this? I think it's when people, if you are somebody who has criticism or dislikes a Star Wars property, not just a Disney property, but a Star Wars property, what are you comparing it to? That's what I mean. That's the way I think about it. It's like, okay, the sequels, it was kind of a mess because they didn't have a through line. They didn't know what they were doing from one movie to the next. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like things were shot ugly or things looked bad. Cinematographical stuff. It was pretty good. It was, the fight scenes were okay. Though, especially the fight scene in the throne room in the sequels was pretty good. They fought more like medieval knights than I think Jedi fight. But then again, they weren't really Jedi, so I can kind of excuse that too. Mm-hmm. I think the Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, on Naboo is still the high watermark for Jedi fights. Mm. So, and then we didn't see a great Jedi fight that would probably kind of be in that realm until Ahsoka fought. I forget the character name. Balin. Yeah, Balin. That was a good one. Mm-hmm. Short but good.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. But the Acolyte took it to a different level. I'm not saying it was better than those.
Right.
But it learned from those.
But it was cool to watch.
Very cool to watch. And very visually pleasing.
Yeah.
And there's certain parts of the show you could say, well, where'd they spend the money? But then you see other parts of the show, it's like, oh, that's where they spent the money. So it brought in a lot of lore. Mm-hmm. A lot of people online, some of the haters, some of the complainers were like, it's breaking Star Wars canon. Well, first of all, it's the High Republic. It's not breaking any Star Wars canon because
there is nothing.
Everything that was Legends, they're actually doing more for the expanded universe, which is now Legends, than Legends kind of did because they're making it live action. They're taking stuff from Legends and making it live action.
Yeah.
Um,
Which makes it canon.
which makes it canon. They're actually
Right.
making some of their stuff canon.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, you know, they didn't like, there was like implications of like this an all woman planet and having kids. I mean, again, keep your politics. Again, if that's your identity and that's what you want to ride with, and that's what determines on whether or not you watch the show or not, that doesn't mean the show's bad. It just means that that's not your taste. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But the show was good.
Mhm.
Now, was it perfect? No.
Mhm.
I think Soul was, and he's the main guy from Squid Games. And I always forget his name.
Yeah, I forgot his
Lee
name.
Jung.
Park?
No, it's Tracy.
Sorry.
Yes, he is Korean, but that doesn't mean that was not his name. I would call him JJL.
But he was good.
Soul was good.
A good actor.
Yeah, and he really knows how to. And they said he kind of learned a lot of English just for this part.
Yeah.
Which is impressive. He knows how to wear his emotions on his face. He's
Yes.
very showing, and so you
Because
felt the
he's
emotions.
already a well-known actor in Korea before Squid Games.
Mhm.
People just noticed him in America after Squid Games, but he was already a well-known actor.
Yeah.
So he can act.
Yeah. One of the things that I really liked about his portrayal of things is that, and not just him, but all of the Jedi in the show, is that they're flawed, and I think a lot of people didn't like them showing that Jedi aren't perfect.
Yeah.
And Lee Jung Jae, I don't know why I forgot that name. But I want to get that right because he's the man.
Yeah.
They don't like that they show that the Jedi aren't perfect, but
They aren't. That's why they are
but I think,
extinct.
but it's like the same people, and again, this is the generational thing. I'm not going to get into it yet,
Yeah.
but it's the same people who you guys are the ones who praised the prequels. You guys are the
Yes.
ones who say I'm a prequel apologist. They're wearing prequel apologist shirts. The entire prequels is how the Jedi screwed up,
Right.
and yet they show, and now this is the Acolyte shows what kind of is leading up to that.
Yeah, that's why I thought they would like it, because this leads up to how the Jedi ended themselves.
Pretty
you know?
much, right?
So why wouldn't they like it if they're prequel nerds or whatever? Prequel sympathizers.
Because-
I don't know what to call them.
Yeah.
Prequel sympathizers.
Yeah, pretty much, And again, people, I'm not gonna get into it.
Anyways, yeah.
But it's that's exactly what it does. Why would you? And one of the best lines in the show was when X-21, I forget what's her name.
Jackie.
Jackie. Yeah,
Jackie.
Jackie.
Yeah.
When she got killed by Quimar,
Uh-huh.
when it's like, Soul's like, she was a child. He's like, you brought her here. It's like the Jedi, regardless of what you think, just like read it in black and white, like it was a court document. What do the Jedi do? They have
Kidnap
powers
kids.
and they train. Not that they don't kidnap them,
Okay.
but
Take kids from their
they
parents.
take kids, but they train kids to be child soldiers.
Yeah.
That's why I like the line in Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
When Anakin, Force Ghost Anakin is like, you're a warrior. Is that all I am?
Yeah.
You're taking kids and training them as soldiers, and then you're like, you killed a kid.
Well, you trained them to- yeah.
What do you expect's going to happen if you train a kid to kill people? You give an 8-year-old a gun and you send them into a battle zone and they die,
Yeah.
and you act shocked.
Yeah. Like, why'd you kill a kid? Well, you brought her to the war.
What was his? And his line is, "You brought her here."
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't bring a child to fight, she wouldn't. So it's not that he's not evil, but who's the evil one here?
Right.
That's the hypocrisy of the Jedi, and I think that's part of what Lucas always wanted to show.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's like, this isn't Lucas's vision. This is what he wrote. This is his stuff. What are you talking about?
I mean, he didn't write this,
He
but
didn't
that's
write this, but the premise of the Jedi and
Yeah.
how they did things and
that's what he did.
They've always done that.
Yeah.
They even
He's
said
just explaining
in
it.
the first, in A New Hope, as soon as one of the first things that, well, I think it was Empire actually.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that they said, the Yoda said, was he's too old.
Yep.
And he was 18. He was still
Anakin?
No, Luke.
Oh.
He's too old.
Well, they even thought Anakin was too old.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm going backwards. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then Anakin was like 9, and they're like, he's too old.
Yeah.
Too old to kill? You know? I mean, Ahsoka was like a commander of an army, and she was like, what, 15?
Yeah. She started when she was 3.
Yeah.
Remember in Tales of the Jedi, they took her when she was a baby.
Yeah. So no, the Jedi don't kidnap him, but okay. So somebody agrees to adopt a kid, and your parents are okay with it, and then you put a deadly weapon in their hand, and you send them off to kill bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, Jedi, they're not supposed to kill, only in self-defense. But you're putting them in situations where they're going to have to defend themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's I don't know why people are so like shell shocked with that. Like, it's like they don't know their own lore. You know?
Yeah.
Some people were complaining about like little things, like, you know, when I think it was May who said, I'll see you in hell. I'll go to hell to Seoul when she jumped out the ship. I forget the line. And people are like, you can't use that word. That's a real world word.
Not a Star Wars word.
Yeah, which was dumb.
Because Han used it.
Han used fire. and even then, it's like, even if he didn't use it.
Is that what you're going to pick on for all 8 episodes, though? Is that what you're going to focus on?
But these are the kind of things I was seeing, like the complaints, and I'm just like, and even if Han didn't use it, even if it wasn't already canon, it's kind of like, they're not speaking English. This isn't like, like it's not like a Tarantino fantasy movie where it's based on Earth. You see what I mean? Where
yes, they're speaking some space language, and it's only in English for us.
Yeah. So it gets weird, man. And the only reason they have different alien languages is so we can distinguish that they're not speaking the same language as the other character.
Yes.
But none of them are speaking English. Yeah. They're not on Earth, right? Mm-hmm. But okay.
Anyways.
Anyways.
So there's probably a lot of the movie stuff that regular, like, Star Wars fans who only watch movies and Disney Plus shows won't understand. Like, who's Plagueis?
Yeah.
Why did Osha bleed a red crystal? What does bleeding a crystal red mean?
So yeah,
all that stuff.
That is, and that's fair, because some of that stuff is, well, I mean, I don't think they really even. If you're a casual Star Wars watcher, and when I say casual, I don't
just
blame
mean
you.
watching the movies.
Yeah.
Not even the Clone Wars.
I'm a casual NBA watcher. I don't. You were actually, when I met you, you were way more into the NBA than I was.
Yeah. Now I lost touch, though.
Yeah.
I'm more
but
casual.
so I don't blame anyone for being a casual of anything. Being a casual just means I
you
enjoy
watch
it.
the movies.
I enjoy it when I see it.
But casual, more than casual, because if they watched all the movies, you still didn't know, because they didn't watch like Clone Wars or Rebels. I don't know what Plagueis is and bleeding into a crystal and all this stuff.
I don't even think they mentioned Plagueis in.
Yeah, they didn't even mention.
They mentioned Plagueis in the prequels.
They did? Okay.
Have you ever heard the tragedy? And I don't think people know he was putting the inflection in his voice was air quotes.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? But they didn't mention Plagueis in there because they didn't know in the Acolyte who Plagueis was.
Yeah.
Because he's in hiding. They probably knew his real name, but because he was a businessman. Businessman. Because he's from the moon race.
Oh.
But bleeding a crystal, that's something that kind of did change from pre-Disney to Disney, because it used to be that the Sith would have synthetic crystals. Mm-hmm. They changed that to where if a Sith, to get a red crystal, what they do is they get a weapon from a Jedi. They get a Jedi's lightsaber. Mm-hmm. and they take that crystal and they pour their hate into it,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes it bleed red.
Red.
Yeah, so it's called
So
bleeding.
that's why OSHA, when she held Soul's lightsaber while she was killing him,
Mm-hmm.
all that hate made that crystal turn red, and the blue turned red.
Yeah.
So that's her lightsaber.
And we've never seen that in live action. It's
Yeah.
only been in writing. I think it was in comic books. They showed Vader doing it.
Right. So it
Yeah.
wasn't even in the Clone Wars or anything?
No. Mm.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's very much.
So how did didn't Ahsoka bleed the white into her?
Yeah, but it
saber?
wasn't in live action.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was told
This is all
somewhere?
this is all in writing. This is all in
Oh.
books, either books or comic books.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So what? Yeah, she ended up repurifying her lightsabers.
And turned white.
Well, I don't know if it was even her lightsabers, but her crystals that she got. I don't know if it was from an Inquisitor. Probably from an Inquisitor, because that would be the time frame, and turned them
From red to white.
Yeah. So, but no one's seen that.
Right.
So
But this is the first time. Oh, that's a big deal then. if
yeah, it's a
the
big
first time
deal.
you see
Yeah.
it.
So, but I understand why people don't understand that, because that's like a deep cut for a casual.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why it's good that. So that's what happened when OSHA
Mm-hmm.
crystal turned red,
Yep. And at the end,
and then Plagueis is the. I guess it's confirmed that Plagueis is that little figure
in the
that-
cave.
in the cave, but we don't
The-
understand what he has to do with all this, because I thought the Sith was rule of 2, right? So now there's 3 all of
Technically.
a sudden, and I don't know.
Rule of 2, though, is not. I think people get too hung up on that, because the rule of 2 means a master and an apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
There could be hundreds of dark side users running around the
Yeah,
galaxy.
because there were Inquisitors when
There-
Vader
yeah,
was an
exactly.
apprentice.
And not just that, even if I'm thinking about killing my master. So when it's even, and this is Lucas timeline, not even,
Yeah.
like Disney timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Like Darth Plagueis was alive during the Phantom Menace.
He was?
Yes. So a lot of people don't, again, people complain about these things like you're breaking the canon. It's like, no. If I'm thinking about, just think of it logically. If I'm thinking about replacing my master, but I'm still following the rule of 2, it's kind of like,
You have to scout out your apprentice
it's kind of like
first.
you're not going to quit a job before you have one lined up.
Right.
It doesn't mean that the person you have on deck is a Sith yet. It just means you got
You're just
somebody in
eyeing-
waiting. You're
yeah.
eyeing, you got a plan.
Right.
So,
Which is what frustrated Bane, because his apprentice didn't do all that. And he's like, dude, when are you going to kill me already? Because she never. It
So-
frustrated him. Anyways.
so technically, according in Lucas's timeline,
Mm-hmm.
Sidious was already eyeing. Not only he already had
He
Maul,
had like Maul, didn't he?
and he was already eyeing Dooku,
Uh-huh.
and Plagueis was still alive for that.
So he had a bunch of candidates. He didn't put all his eggs in one.
He still had a
dude.
master.
Yeah, he still had a master, but he has, okay, I got these 3 people
Yeah,
here
he had,
that I'm
he had
eyeing.
Maul. That he probably never planned to become a master. He was just more thought of as
Just
an assassin.
using Maul.
He's kind of using, and then when he met Anakin, he started using Dooku too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he wasn't keeping all his eggs in one basket.
Mm-hmm.
No. So, and Plagueis was alive. They just didn't show him being killed on camera.
But when he told Anakin the story,
of
did
Darth-
that already happen though? Right?
Yeah, because he told him the story in Revenge of the Sith.
Right. Oh, the third
Yeah.
one.
He killed him during the time of the first one, which is like
Oh, I see. I
10
see.
years before, or how long?
Oh, when
Yeah.
Anakin was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, yeah. So that's even, so even if you're like a total Lucas, subscriber that I only follow Lucas's vision,
Mm-hmm.
this still doesn't even contradict Lucas's vision.
Right.
Um,
It just explains what happened in this whole gap. You know?
yeah, exactly.
So yeah. So okay.
I
So
know,
yes, Plagueis.
we're gonna get
is-
messages on this one. I know. That's so funny.
Plagueis is Sidious's master,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
And who's the other dude? There was another dude, not dude.
Tenebrous.
Yes. Is
Tenebrous was Plagueis master.
Okay.
And by the way, in canon, well, not canon, legends
Mm-hmm.
that used to be the expanded universe, which all these people who are complaining say
Mm-hmm.
that they were sad that Disney made this. Even Tenebrous had another apprentice. named Venomous.
Hmm.
And so even he had
Dude, these names
two
are
apprentices.
killing me.
I know.
Sidious, Plagueis, like,
I know.
can it just not end with an S?
Yeah. Yeah. Darth Treya. Darth Bane. It just has to be something kind of bad. You know?
Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, it's so all this stuff is already there. It's not like, at least for Leslie Headland, who's the showrunner for the Acolyte, it's not like she is poking holes in anything except for Jackie.
Jackie. Poor Jackie.
Jackie got 3 holes.
She's my favorite character.
But we're gonna start calling her 3-hole punch.
Like Smilo Ren.
Smilo Ren.
Smilo Ren is.
Quimir. Yeah. Quimar.
Oh,
Quimir.
this. So the Screen Crush people. Ryan Airy calls it sexy Star Wars because you know how Smilo Ren, like, was shirtless, and then, like, Osha was kind of thirsting on him and all this stuff. And he's like, I think I kind of like sexy Star Wars. Star Wars never done this before.
And then his partner, like Colton or whatever, is like, I hate sexy Star Wars.
Yeah, he's like so cringe. Like he wanted to throw up, like on that scene where where I'm just gonna call him Smile Ren, when they were like eyeing each other face to face, where she was about to kill him with the lightsaber, and then he puts his hand on her, and then they had this like kind of like chemistry going.
Yeah.
That guy was like, "Oh my god, I can't," or something.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
like, dude,
Yeah,
I'm sorry you were bullied in school. Like, this is normal.
and a lot of people were just like, what do you? Why? How can you short out a lightsaber? Nothing shorts out a lightsaber. Cortosis is not something Leslie Headland made up. Again, that's something else from the EU.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Tenebris was killed in a Cortosis mine, which they think is the same planet that Quimar is on. So I think it started with a B. It's like Baldemic or something like that. I forgot the name of it. But they think that's the unknown planet.
Oh, that planet that they were on.
Because you could see a cortosis vein running through the thing. Some theories that maybe they're not going to be Sith. At the end, Osha ends up with him, Smilo Ren, and they end up becoming, because they kept playing the themes of Kylo Ren.
Yeah, the Knights of Ren song or whatever, the Kylo Ren theme song.
Kylo Ren's theme, subtly, a lot of times when they showed him.
When they showed Osha, right?
No, him. I think it was.
But there was one time they played it when they just showed her too.
Maybe. Oh, okay. Maybe.
Yeah. So they thought
have to
that.
rewatch.
Yeah. Their theory, and it never got explained. So the theory is that maybe they went and started their own Knights of Ren.
Yeah, maybe because the Knights of Ren was supposed to be from the unknown regions. But at least I don't know if that's still canon, because they do retcon stuff, But. Maybe they're kind of the foremother and father of the future Knights of Ren that, Kylo Ren actually becomes a part of. Because the Knights of Ren in canon are a little bit force sensitive. They're just not as much as Jedi and Sith. But you have to have a little bit of power in order to join, or else they'll kill you. They're just kind of like bandits.
But these two are very force sensitive.
I know. So we'll see, But now, something that I don't like about it, I didn't like the episode length. I think that they were too short. I think that I know that there's always, and again, I don't know how showrunners lay things out and how things get done. Sometimes the show ended really abruptly, and it's just like, what? It's almost like Goofy Sky School. It's like, doom. It's like, wait, what? I think that they could have not the pacing during the shows, but the pacing of the entire series, of the entire season, could have been done better. And sometimes you can see, like, okay, if that's all you had to show, maybe do 6 episodes
instead of 8,
and then have better cuts or better transitions from episode to episode. I used to get mad at it's only 6 episodes, but sometimes there's really good shows that are 6 episodes. You just got to be able to tell that story.
Yeah.
And I think this was kind of a weird way to tell a story. They brought up certain things. It's almost like Leslie Headland assumed they're getting a season 2, and if there's not a season 2,
there's gonna be so many questions.
there's going to be so many questions. Yeah, so I think that could be a mistake. I think it should have been like a self-contained thing to where you wrap up this story, but there's still. But if you still wanted to have a season 2, you could. You know. So I don't like that part of it because there are still a lot of things, you know, Quimar. I always mispronounce his name. Chimere, Quimar.
Just call him Smilo Ren.
Smilo Ren. you know, he's the one apprentice of bald girl, who's in the High Republic books, you know. Stuff.
Oh, the green bald lady?
Yeah.
Oh, that lady is so sus.
Yeah, she's sus. They show Yoda at the end, so you got the same, you know. And to me, I liked it, but I also thought they know this is going to stick because that was, you know, the ending of the first season of Mandalorian is the ears. So everyone is like, okay, you know, this is, you know, but yeah, so we got that cameo. But so, you know, out as a show, like it's just a show. It's probably a 7. I give it like an 8.5 because when I compare it to Star Wars shows, because I think the action was great. I think what was it, episode 5 when they had the big brawl? Yeah, that was great. I think, and then episode 8, the fight scenes were good. I think. That's how Jedi should fight. Jedi aren't just sword fighters. And as a matter of fact, they are some of the best martial artists in the galaxy. You know, so the fact that a Jedi would get beat up without his lightsaber is ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know why people think they always need to fight with their lightsabers, especially with people without weapons. That wouldn't even be the way of the Jedi. So,
even the very first episode, the very first scene when
it's fighting Trinity
and Carrie-Anne Moss was fighting May was really good
compared to other properties. And I think the story, you know, I like where they're going. The thing I don't like about the story is that they assume it's the season 2.
Yeah, there's a lot of unanswered questions.
Like Loki season 1 was kind of, you can kind of watch it, and if there's not a season 2, you're kind of like, okay.
But the last episode of season 1 says, "See you in season 2."
Yeah.
So they knew they were getting a season 2.
But you know, it's not like Marvel where it could be continued in a movie.
Yeah.
Because Star Wars movies are fair and
maybe that Ahsoka movie or whatever. Not Ahsoka movie, the Mandoverse movie.
Yeah, but again, now you're looking at like
but this is 1,000 years before. Yeah,
not 1,000, but like 160 or something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I was thinking of Game of Thrones as 1,000 years. Oh man, I'm getting all these timelines confused.
Yeah.
But anyways, I liked the fact that it explains everything. Where are you going to see a show or a movie that explains the lore of the Sith?
Exactly.
This is why I liked it. I was like, oh, you know, and then, you know, it goes along with leading up to the fall of the Jedi.
Now,
and they kept saying it.
The one thing, and again, this is me being Mr. Fantasy Man. I always said, and I said it on this podcast, if they're going to put money into something, they should have done a Darth Bane series. That should have been their next project.
Yeah.
Because if you do Darth Bane, you could do an acolyte, and it's not, you don't have people so confused. And even it makes Star Wars better, because when they talk about the rule of 2, people just think that that's kind of like, you know, wash your hands before eating kind of thing. It's like it's kind of just a rule, but they don't know how much went into that.
I was like, as much as I like try to catch up on Star Wars stuff, I didn't know why they kept saying balance to the Force. I don't know what that meant. I thought balance means there needs to be a good and an evil. So if there's only Jedi, that's not balance. That's imbalance. Right. So you explained it to me that the Jedi is so arrogant that they think balance means only they can exist.
Yeah, and that's what Mace Windu said.
Yeah.
Mace Windu,
Yeah.
mispronouncing everybody, even easy names, said during the prequels. He said, he's the one to bring balance, destroy the Sith and bring balance to the Force. I don't know which order he said it, but that's what he said. And it's kind of like, that's not balance.
Right.
They think balance means get rid of just them.
Yeah.
Like if everybody just thinks like the Jedi, then that's balance. And it's like, no. And the Force fights back. Like Tony Stark says, sometimes you mess with time messes back. Yeah, it's the same thing with the Force. It's like the Force will make self-corrections and stuff. And here's the thing. Technically, Anakin did bring balance to the Force. And he did kill the Sith. But the Jedi had to be wiped out too before that.
Yeah.
So now there's like, there's probably still, one Sith somewhere in the galaxy, after the Star Wars original trilogy. And then there's, one Jedi. That is balance. It doesn't mean you get an army of Jedi and no Sith.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's balance it's always perspective on what you consider balance, or what you consider good, and that was kind of the theme of the Acolyte. It's like, Soul, even at the end, was saying, I did what I thought was right. He kept repeating, I did what I thought was right. But Senator Rayancourt, yeah, he dropped the bar, man. He said,
and he was talking to Green Woman.
Control the uncontrollable. And they're like, we don't think we control the Force. He's like, no, your emotions.
Yeah, you think you could control your emotions.
And that's what and this whole show was about, is that the Jedi think that they can control their emotions, and no, they're people too.
And he said, this will be your downfall. Mother Anastasia said, this will be your downfall. And they did fall 100 years later.
They fell hard.
Order 66.
Execute Order 66. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's I don't know. It's what did he say? Like, where is my
Not face what's in right in front of you.
When you're looking up to heroes, you don't have to face what's right in front of you. When you're looking up to heroes,
see that?
You don't have to face what's right in front of you.
That was the one line that I think makes him maybe one of the big bads. Or something.
Well, just in case they didn't hear it, he said, when you're looking up to heroes.
Yeah.
You
don't face what's in front of you.
Yeah.
And who was standing in front of her?
Him.
Exactly. So.
That's one of our theories.
Yeah. And also he's an actor, he was Martian Manhunter, he was in Homeland, he's been in a lot of stuff. Why would you bring him in for like one scene, basically? At the end, in the last episode?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like you could bring anybody in to do one good scene. The reason you bring in a good actor is because they can deliver consistently. And he's not cheap. He's not cheap at all. And that's David Harewood. And he does a lot of voice acting too. But yeah, he's in a lot of stuff. You don't bring somebody like that in just to drop one bar and mic drop at the end of the season.
And then that's it.
Yeah. But yeah, I know we kind of jumped around all over the place, but yeah, the series as a whole, didn't like the pacing. Don't like the assumption they're getting a new show, because even if Kathleen Kennedy's like, don't worry, you're getting a new show. She said that to what's her name, the Wonder Woman director, that they were going to do Rogue Squadron, and we still don't know when that's happening. So I don't bet on that. I don't even know if Kathleen Kennedy, even though she's in charge of Lucasfilm, she's the head of Lucasfilms. I don't even know.
Well, it depends on how this show did.
Yeah, but don't go in and build a show assuming that you're going to get.
Yeah.
Well, I would have wrapped it all up in at least this storyline.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't mean you can't leave breadcrumbs. They wanted to put Plagueis.
Showing Plagueis, that's a big
That's huge.
breadcrumb.
That's huge.
That's not a breadcrumb. That's like a the whole loaf. Here you go. We don't know what to do with this yet, but
Yeah. So I know this was probably one of our more inconsistent reviews because we were ranting and then jumping around.
yeah.
But the story is basically about Jedi who made mistakes, and it's showing that they're not perfect. And even when you have the best of intentions, things can still go wrong.
Mhm.
Even when you think that you're doing something right, it might not be the right thing, or the outcome might not be good.
Mhm.
So, and even sometimes it shows that even people who are evil, you know, may have a reason to be. We don't really know.
It's not that they're
Smiloren's-
evil. I mean, they didn't do anything evil.
Well, I'm talking about Smilo Ren. So,
Okay, he killed a few Jedis and he killed Jackie. But I mean, like, you already knew, like May, she killed these Jedi, but you know what she's after. She saw her mother
you know
die
her
in front of
motivation.
her
Getting killed by a Jedi.
and killed by a Jedi.
And that was her perspective.
Right.
They were using what's called the Rashomon, and that's
Mhm.
that's a Kurosawa film, and it's basically, seeing the same events from the perspective of different people,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of what Leslie Helen said she was going for,
Mm-hmm.
and so that is kind of what happened. Did she totally nail it? Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. But I mean, again, Kurosawa's a legend, so I don't expect
Yeah,
her to be.
But it's more like you're not like, hey, Jedi, you're not all that high and almighty. But at least for us, like he said, he's like, I've accepted my dark side.
yeah.
What about you? Like, you're just hiding all this stuff,
Well,
secrets.
but that is the lore of the dark side, right? It's the power of the dark side, and this is what Yoda said, and this has always remained true. Is it's not that it's more powerful; it's just it's easy.
Mm.
So it's like, you know how you always say like, "Oh, there's a zombie attack. Just bite me and take me." Yeah, it's because it's like.
Let me
it's
live
like-
in the Matrix. I don't want to live on Zion.
Yeah, it's the people who avoid struggle. It's harder to be a Jedi. The reason we respect the Jedi, it's like showing the Jedi's flaws is why we should respect them. It's not the opposite. We shouldn't respect them less, right? I don't like Jedi because I don't like Jedi. I don't like goody two shoes. But there is
They're
an argument.
hypocrites.
But that's the flaw of every thinking being.
Yeah.
You're a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite. Everyone's a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Everyone will say something that's true, objectively true about somebody, but won't apply it to their family, for example. I don't believe that people should be, I don't believe people should always be asking for money. But then when it's somebody in your family, you're like, oh, okay. I don't believe people should do this. I don't believe someone should go to jail for that. Well, your cousin went to jail for that. That's different,
Yeah.
Every thinking being has some level of hypocrisy. The Jedi just don't admit it. And that's what brings them to their downfall. And they think that they can control their emotions. They can't, at least not all the time, right?
And Soul didn't. That's what got him in
they
trouble.
think that attachments are always bad. Well, not letting Anakin have his attachments is what ultimately drove him away. If they would have just said, hey, we'll work with you.
Yeah.
Like a social worker.
Fine, go save your mom and come back.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like, go save your mom. Come back.
Yeah, because what's the consequence of that? Again, I've talked about this on a lot of podcasts, again, Slobodan Milosevic, and I use him as an example because he's not a current political figure, and I don't think there's people that are riding hard for Slobodan Milosevic. It's not like using somebody in America that's current, but his parents both committed suicide. And then he ends up becoming like this ethnic cleanser from Serbia. And it's like, yeah, maybe someone should have helped him. Maybe if somebody would have, I'm not saying somebody didn't try. I'm just saying trauma creates trauma. Hurt people hurt people. I know that's a cliche. But saying to Anakin, yeah, you were a slave and yeah, your mom died, but dude, get over it. Buy Genie Plus. It's not the first thing to say. And now we're going to wrap the show, folks. And I think we're going to come full circle. We have to do a giveaway. I'm actually don't know how many people are going to go for this giveaway, because I'm actually giving away a book, and I don't know how many people want to read anymore. I'm trying to make you guys think.
It's not a digital book. It's
No,
a book you have to
hardcover
hold.
book. It's called Light of the Jedi.
Well, I guess you can use it as decoration. Hey, I'm a Star Wars fan. Look, you're putting this book up. You know.
If you're a real Star Wars fan, you're in this giveaway. And all you have to do,
Wait, what's the book called?
Light of the Jedi. So it's actually phase 1 in the High Republic. So those of you who want to know why Brandok was a disaster and came back, well, not why it came back to life, but why they thought it was a dead planet when they went there, it kind of explains it in this book.
Okay.
So this particular one will end on August 3rd. So all you have to do is direct message us, the same as any giveaway. and I was thinking of a bunch of things to say. I usually take quotes from the show. Just write, because he wanted to be a dad and everything. And you got two sisters playing. Well, one sister playing two roles, but ended up being one. If you watch the show, it's actually one person. Soul Sisters, spelled SOL.
Soul Sisters.
Soul Sisters. And just direct message us that to Facebook, Instagram, info at ropedroppingknowledge.com, and you will be entered to win a hardcover book, which, those things used to be very valuable and treasured.
It'll be worth something someday.
Could be. And if you want me to, we'll sign it. We didn't write it, but we'll sign it. We can give you a signed copy. It just won't be the author. So
No, we'll just give you some stickers.
yeah, we'll give you some stickers.
Or we'll
yeah.
use that thing the picture you took. That could be your bookmark.
Yeah. All right.
But, yeah.
So we'll be at the parks on Sunday. And sorry we went on so long about DOS and so long about the Acolyte, but it's been a long time since we saw you guys. So I'm Brian.
I'm Tracy.
Stay magical.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe and visit us at www.ropedroppingknowledge.com.